Hello, today I'm going to share with you a easy, fun, and beautiful technique using Dreamweaver stencils and variegated gold leafing. I'm going to create this card, a new release stencil from Dreamweaver Stencils called Peace on Earth. And we're going to use the black variegated gold leafing. To get started, you will want to use some metallic embossing paste from Dreamweaver Stencils. I'm going to use metallic gold. You'll also want to use palette stamp and stick glue pad. Obviously the gold leafing. And your regular paste embossing tools, which is your palette knife and your paste spreader. So first step is to paste emboss your stencil onto cardstock, and to do that we are going to use the removable tape to secure our stencil to the paper and to the workspace. I'm putting a large piece of tape on the side of my stencil, and that is going to act as a hinge. So once I have pasted, you will see how easy it is to remove the stencil from the paper. So I have my metallic gold embossing paste, and with my palette knife I'm going to just take a large amount and spread it at the top of my hinge. I can then, with my paste spreader, come along and pick up the paste and pull it across the stencil. I want to have complete coverage with my paste because everywhere there's paste, there will be gold leafing. I'm having one little trouble area there. There we go. All the paste can go right back in the jar, and I've dropped my tools into a dish of water to keep them from not getting dried out. So now I'm going to remove the stencil. I'm removing the tape in the exact order that I placed it on the project. And I can now grab a corner of the stencil and just lift it up to reveal the paste underneath. And that stencil then goes in the dish of water to stay wet until I can clean it. So I'm going to set this aside to dry. And I have previously paste embossed one that is already dried so that we can go ahead and start the gold leafing process. Alright, so I have my gold paste embossed project here, all dry, and I've cleaned the stencil, and I'm going to apply the stencil on top of the dried paste. I want it to be exactly on the dried paste, sitting there perfectly, so I don't get any palette glue anywhere that I don't want it. So I have the stamp and stick glue and a sponge dauber, and I'm just going to apply the glue with the sponge dauber all over the image. Everywhere that palette is where the gold leafing will stick to. It's kind of hard to see the glue on the paste, but you can see it on the stencil. And that's how you can kind of tell that you are getting like in the little teeny tiny corners and that kind of thing. Alright, so I think I have pretty good coverage here. Now this is the key, and I tried doing gold leafing forever and ever, and I was never successful. And then I finally watched a video from Linnell Harlow, and she had taken, after she applied the palette, she applied heat to it. And so I'm going to go ahead and apply heat now. And the heat activates the stickiness. So if I can pick up the project with my finger, I know that I have gotten good coverage on, or I know that I've heated the glue enough. And here with my gold leafing sheet, I'm just going to place it right over the top of the glue. And there's a little bit of star that doesn't have a glue, so I'm just going to take a piece from my gold leafing scraps. And I now have a stenciling brush with stiff bristles, and I'm just tapping on the gold leafing with this brush. I can see the gold leafing sticking to the paste where I have put the palette, and you can kind of see, like right here, that's where there is no glue. So once you feel that your gold leafing is secure onto your paste, I then, with the same stippling brush, just kind of using a rougher stroke, am brushing off the excess gold leafing. I also keep a little jar of extra gold leafing pieces that I can use at a later date. I prefer to use a whole sheet because I love the variegated look of it, as you can see, but you can also use bits and pieces, and you can just dump them right out from your jar and then siphon what's left of the gold leafing right back into your scraps. So I'm continuing working on this, getting up the big pieces, putting them in my jar for later. And now I can just get a little rougher and get in those cracks and crevices where I want it to be a crisp image. And you can see, because of the palette, none of this gold leafing, as rough as I am brushing on it, is coming off. It is completely stuck. It's giving me a nice crisp image. And that whole process took right around a minute and a half, minute maybe. So that's what I'm left with, is this cool gold leafing image right on the embossing paste. And this was the end result of my project. I simply just popped it up onto a 5x7 card base, and I think it looks pretty stunning. Thank you for taking a look today. I hope that you will be able to put this technique to use with your stencils and your embossing pastes, and I hope you have a good day.